Hi, we're in the following part. Please go gauge your bearings by checking out the previous part on what we're talking about. I was explaining to you guys demonic worship in the Old Testament that is very similar to what's going on in the ground today. The devil is an ancient spirit, however, albeit being ancient, he doesn't really do anything new. There is nothing new under the sun. It is written in the book of Ecclesiastes. He keeps on, reinventing, innovating new religions. There is Shemima or something, like some funny new religion that has been innovated, and it's catching a whole bunch of fire in the United States. People will keep on innovating new religions. Literally, tomorrow there'll likely be somebody that's coming up with a brand spanking new cult. But the practices in those cults, those religions, will literally look the same to what's been happening all along. He might be an ancient spirit, but to him it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's worked before in the human race, it'll continue to work tomorrow. History continues to repeat itself, so the devil continues to do the same rituals. He continues to do the same things through people by giving them different religions. While in my land, Chemosh worship, the god of the Moabites, is called ancestral worship. And in it too, do they sacrifice their children and they run them through the fire. And the younger they are, the better. If at all you can get your kid to go to hell, you've made it. You've arrived as a parent in South Africa, especially within the black community. People are sending each other to the flames of hell, hitting the ground running at the speed of lightning. My father passed away last year, and to this day I don't know if he made right with God or if he's in heaven, because of the fact that he helped my mother participate in the mutiny against my life. He helped my whole family. He was a deadbeat dad. He wasn't around. But when he was given an opportunity to do differently by me, he chose to stick to his guns. He was given cancer as a way out of here, and so therefore some kind of a deathbed. I don't know if on that deathbed he did what was better, if he repented. So I'm gonna have to find out later on, and after the rapture, if my father is among the saints that are in heaven, because he subscribed to Christianity and was always all up in that Bible, or if he went to hell. I don't know where he's at. I'd much rather not have to think about it. But my dad was like a parent that would have raised a child up to a certain age and given them over to Chemosh just to get some kind of favor in his life. He allowed my mom to use him against me because it benefited him in some way, since he had decimated his life. That is what it is that I have to deal with every single day. The pain, the sorrow in my heart is the fact that my family members are so satanic, and it appears irrevocably so, that they are happy when once upon a time they used to love me, to watch me burn in hell, because they are actively trying to get me to curse God and die. Let's all just go to hell together. How about we just hop in there together? Swim in there. Like it's some kind of a hot bath, as opposed to, I don't know, molten lava. But that's the thing. They're fools. They think there is no God. They're nihilistic, or they think that their ancestral worship gods are going to protect them. I don't know what they believe. All I know is that they are participating in a human sacrifice ritual, and they hope it's going to get far. Well, I'm like Ruth. I was raised in Moab. I was supposed to worship or subscribe to the god that is Chemosh. But then I met a woman by the name of Naomi. I've been made somewhat of a widow, and my husband is no longer in this country. I would have married a South African man, just like Ruth married in her land, even though it was a Hebrew man. I would have married a Christian in this country, but they decided to curse the men in the land, the whole country, so badly that men in this country can't see me. The witchcraft in this nation is so extreme that I'm telling you, even on social media, they don't see me. Even when I speak on the rooftops on social media, South African men don't see me, or at least those that would be viable for me. Literally, it's a mockery and a diss. Kids that were all born in the 90s, perhaps 2000s, they keep on freaking asking me out. But men who are age appropriate for me, they don't see me. They have been blind. They are literally wearing blinkers on their eyes. So I might as well be a widow in this land. I'm not a spinster, I'm a widow. I was supposed to marry somewhere in my late 20s. All the men in this country that subscribe to Christianity are blind, saying that witchcraft is so poignant, so extreme, that either nobody's really truly getting saved, or those that are saved are so fluffy. They are so not serious. They are literally about to enter heaven by the skin of their teeth. They're not into actively at demolishing arguments and every lofty pretension that exalts itself above the Most High, and hold into captivity every thought to the obedience of Jesus Christ. They're not warriors in the kingdom of heaven. They're not wearing their full armor. They are not bringing down strongholds. They are just lackadaisically gliding by, like attached and sutured to them all different kinds of things they need to get delivered from, like generational curses, like strong men in their homes. Like, don't get me mistaken, I'm not saying that Christians can have demons, but Christians are born into families with generational curses, and if you get saved, you have got to work to conquer the darkness of your forefathers. The soul that sins shall die. And it appears that South African men, what they are these people that get born again, and then they just kind of hang out comfortably, so like a baby with rubber duckies floating inside some water in their generational curses. So therefore witchcraft blinds them. They don't partake in the disciplines of fasting. They don't pray, or at least not as much as they should. They are just content with the salvation on its own. And so for those reasons, they'll enter heaven, yes, indeed, by the skin of their teeth, but actually conquer the strong man in their lands, in their countries, in their ecosystems, in their own generational lineages. I know. They are lazy. And in being so lazy, are subjugating women that are fervent and feisty for God, that are actively trying to avoid curses. And I'm not saying it's only women that are doing this. I suspect maybe, just maybe, there might be men who are also frustrated by just the flaccid, fluffy Christianity that many women across the show are walking in. Just a compromise. Like people who pray for certain things that they ask for from God and then settle for something else. Like these ladies all over the show that are busy marrying men that are obviously not saved. But hey, they said the sinner's prayer once. They don't have the walk that this woman has. If a man is not spiritually stronger than a woman, then what in the world as a woman are you doing marrying him? Because he's supposed to lead you spiritually in a marriage. And there are a whole bunch of South African Christian females literally just throwing in the towel and waiting on God and allowing themselves to be either unequally yoked to unbelievers or ending up with men that are fluffy spiritually in comparison to them. So that unequal landscape is causing these fluffy marriages that are not producing the fruit of the Holy Spirit as they ought in the kingdom of heaven. The compromise of the Christian becomes haughty in the union that is unequally yoked. And so what they're supposed to do for God is not met in its fulfillment. Hello. That is what is happening just ubiquitously across the show in this country. Hello. Therefore, as poignant and as fervent as I am in Christ, for the life of me, sorry, I had to go and look for my key. I still can't find it. But I don't want people leaving in the house be locked and I need to use the bathroom and I can't find I still don't know where my key is, but as long as the house is open, I'm good. I was saying that I am not about to allow, for crying out loud, some dude that's namby-pamby fluffy has got a whole bunch of generational curses still operating in his life, albeit professing Christ. I've cleaned myself, or at least I'm working on cleaning myself. I'm not about to be with a guy that has not invested in as much warfare against the darkness of their family members and the darkness of the country and their roots, what it is they come from. I'm not about to be with a man that has not made war with that, because he's going to tarnish the blood line. He's going to tarnish my children. He's going to heavy my kids. He is going to subjugate my daughters to the same tyranny that I am endured through. Like the reason why I keep on getting pursued by little boys is because women in my family have been known to marry kids. And by kids, I'm not even speaking chronologically. They're older than them, but they're immature. Just these namby-pamby fluffy boys who are wet behind their ears. And so they get frustrated in marriages, they get frustrated in relationships, and they end up having to carry the bulk of the weight of the relationship. I don't want my daughters to have to face that nonsense. Literally having a magnetic pull coming towards them of men that predictably are attracted to their spiritual ecosystem, to their spiritual orb around them. They're attracted to the kind of generational curse that they are, and so they automatically get pursued by a certain kind of man only. This is something you have to fight. You literally have to scrape it off you like it's a layer of fat on top of your skin. You must scrape it off to see what is underneath there. What is the real meat? What is the real girth or gist or oomph or impetus of who you really are? What are you supposed to do? And unless you remove this cloak that causes a certain gravitational pull towards you of only one kind of man, you are going to inevitably end up married like Oedipus's mom to a dude that's more like your son, even though chronologically he's older than you. He's got biological years that are more than yours, but he is a baby, a child that you have to carry like a log all throughout the marriage. You will eventually get frustrated with that. I've been getting pursued by that kind of man all my life. All my boyfriends have been little babies. And when I came to Christ, I was like, enough is enough. Not only have they all been like little babies, but those of my female relatives have also been like little babies. They've always been these chunky women dating or marrying men that are much too small for them. in terms of career, in terms of intelligence, in terms of money, like everything. Like women in my family are beastly in comparison to their men, even though these men chronologically sometimes are older than them. Next part.